as always, in the name of Jesus. This video is going to be doing a review, my review of The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 1, No Sanctuary. The Season 5 premiere. Man, this was bananas. This episode was so bananas. We open up with Rick, with Gareth, just talking to some other people who were caught in the van, in the train car before Rick's group came on. Then we go to flip to the present, and then we see Rick and his group getting prepared to break out of Terminus train car and attack. When all of a sudden there's a smoke grenade drops in, and then there are people, and then it goes off, and then Gareth's crew take Rick, Glenn, Daryl, and Bob into like the butcher shop or whatever it is. And there we see some people whom they have chopped up, probably to be eaten. So, and then they also see Sam, the guy from Indifference, whom Rick and Carol met. And then we saw he wound up in Terminus, and then he is one of the first people to get killed, and then Rick and Gareth's crew knock out other people, and then then Bob says, well, you don't have to do this. Says that you don't have to do this. There's a guy who can get us to Washington. You just gotta have to take the chance. And then meanwhile, all the while, Rick is trying to get free. And so we go to the opening credits, which look pretty cool now. I like that they've gotten new credits now. Then we go back, and then we see Tyrese, Judith, and Carol heading on their way to Terminus. And then when they were Walker hurt, they hide. They come across another guy from Terminus who's talking about referring to Michonne and Carl, until that guy is held at gunpoint, and then all of a sudden they have them tied up, cuffed together in a little cabin, and then they hide him. And then on the meantime, Carol has Tyrese hide while Tyrese hide while she go with Judith, all the while she gets into zombie gore, so that way she can go up there. She tries to focus she blows up a little canister, and kaboom, everything goes to, the little can thing blows up, and then all the walkers are wiped out. Then meanwhile, that distracts Gareth, and that gives Rick enough time to break free and just kill the 2 other butchers in there and help free the rest of the 4 other people. So, I mean, Daryl, Glenn, and Bob. So, and then we get to them going to, meanwhile, in the train car, there are still, everybody else who's left there is still getting prepared to break out, and then, I'll just finish this up. Eugene is simply talking about how he is ready to take a cure. Eugene is talking about how he was working with other people on this as a scientist, and how he is still and Abraham says they need to get to the cure is being classified and all that. So, and in the meantime, Rick and Co are freeing other people who seemingly insane, and they get eaten by walkers. Then they walk out. By the way, I liked how Rick and Glenn had a little bit of chit chat. It's been a while since I've seen them interacting for a long time. Then it's only a matter of time before they break out of the prison. I mean, they break everybody else out of a train car, and then they start fighting their way past the walkers, and then by that point, Terminus is history. Meanwhile, we don't know what happened to Gareth and everybody else. I'm sure we will be seeing them again. We will be seeing them again because basically Gareth is just basically another version of Gareth. Gareth and his crew are just the hunters from the comic book. So this is still a simplified version of the hunters from the comic book. So yes, meaning they're cannibals, and we will see them. If you read the comic book, you know how they meet their end. So, and then we all see Gareth. Then the guy who is handcuffed in the room with Tyrese, he threatens to kill Judith after getting free somehow, as Judith cries, walkers are attracted, and then he goes out, and then Judith, goes out, and Tyrese takes them out, all the walkers, and he gets back into the house, and then he starts punching that guy to death. And then all of a sudden, and then Rick and Carol, Daryl sees Carol, he embraces her. That was very heartwarming. Rick sees Carol, he hugs her. That's very heartwarming too. And then most of all, we see Rick and Carl reunited with Judith. That's awesome. And we also see Daryl, Sasha, and Tyrese reunited. That was awesome. That was an awesome ending. And a very awesome ending. So we also see, and then we also see, of course, before that, I need to say that Rick suggested that they all wipe out everybody else in the room, wipe out everybody surviving people in the room back over in Terminus, just so that way they wouldn't haunt them another time, but Glenn was against it. And so was probably Rosita. So, and then, Abraham Ford, he was saying they can talk about their chit chat about the mission to Washington, but for now, and then in the meantime, while they were doing that, before that happens, oh, by the way, Tyrese says that he had to kill the guy who threatened to kill Jews. So, and then also before that, Rick puts the word "no" over the word "sanctuary," just to warn people before he leaves. It was an awesome episode, but what makes it gets even more awesome, after the credits, we see Morgan, as he seems to be walking down to Terminus. And of course, he'll walk over to the sign where it says "No Sanct." See Rick's sign "No Sanctuary," and he'll probably turn back, and hopefully we will, and I'm pretty confident that we'll see him again. So, excellent season premiere. I have to give it a 9.4, 9.5, or 9.6 out of 10. Excellent episode, close to Too Far Gone. Great season premiere. It is so good to have The Walking Dead back. This was an excellent season premiere, and I am so excited for what this season has in store. Alright,